I'm in my new room, and it is time for another plant tour. A lot of things change, not only the room. I did quite a lot of work on some plants. Some plants didn't make it. I do have some new ones, so I'll walk you through it. I'll start with this high shelf that I really like. Got one of my pothos up here. Didn't do much in the last time, but it is sprouting a new leaf. Um, this one I repotted, and I also repotted my two other spider plants, which I can show you a clip of right now. So I decided that I want to repot my little spider plant here. Um, Actually, I really love it in this pot. I think it looks very cool, but I decided that I want to grow it a little bit bigger. So um, this is like the only medium-sized pot that I have. Well, I mean, this one is quite medium-sized too, but like this is like the only reasonable upgrade I can give to that one. So this mystery plant, it kind of looks like a spider plant too, but I'm not quite sure. And it's growing very rapidly at a very good pace. So I'm also gonna give it a bigger pot. And yeah, it's a weird time of the year for repotting. It's like November now, but since they're all inside, I don't think it really matters too much. After looking at the roots of this one, I'm quite sure it is a spider plant because they, oh, you can't see them. Those roots look exactly like spider plant roots. So I'm gonna determine it for now as a non-variegated spider plant. As you can probably see here, the roots on this one look exactly the same. Quite tubular. Oh, hello. What's up? That's the first time I ever determined a plant by its roots. But yeah, this is definitely a spider plant. That's it. Just a quick and easy repot. I think it looks pretty cool in this pot too, even with the lid overhanging. And for this one, I don't have a very nice pot, but it's gonna be under the grow light there anyway, so it will not matter that much. I'm moving things around a little bit as well. My separated eucalyptus trees, two of them are gonna stay here. One of them is over there. And then my spider plant is gonna stay here. I put the little pomegranates here too. They look, except for this one right here, they all look pretty good. And then I put the little jade propagations here too. But I'm gonna remove this one. It really liked it under the grow light. As you can see, it has a lot of growth, but it's just getting too tall. And this, I planted it. This was a bad idea, but I knew it wasn't gonna be a bad idea. Yeah, I'm just gonna put it somewhere else. This little grow light station is where I put this one. This is actually a spider plant, which I was not sure of before. It is, I also found out why it's not variegated, because it was apparently grown from seed. There must have been a spider plant seed somewhere in my soil, and if they grow from seed, they lose variegation. So, mystery solved. I also, as I told you in the clip, I separated my eucalyptus plants, which I didn't film. I just took the two biggest ones, I put one here and one over there, and it has grown quite a bit since then. It's looking pretty good. The stem up here is, I don't know if you can see, it's a bit weird. It looks like really gummy and thick compared to down here. These ones I just made like a clump out of all the leftover ones I had, and I gave 3 to my friend for her birthday. Also put this little jade propagation thing down here. This is, I grew all of this from a leaf cutting. in like more than a year, so they start out really slowly. And then this is my pomegranates, which I'll also have to separate at some point, but they've been growing really well. It's a bit dark here, eh? My Monstera is doing very well. It is getting some new leaves, which they don't seem to have real fenestrations, but at least they're not the baby leaves like these ones. Also lower down, there's like plenty of new stuff sprouting. My Chevlara, it got stunted growth after I repotted it, and I will I'll do like a ton of repot next year. And this, I'm not gonna repot this, but I'm gonna chop it somewhere on the trunk and take a cutting. This, I don't think there's much news when it comes to that one. It is just doing its thing, growing. For my Dracaena marginatas, I chopped the little one, which I can also show you a clip of. Oh, I got this Dracaena planting. And this tree, this smallest one, I really like, but I was thinking it would look pretty cool if I would just keep, well, you can't really see it, if I just keep this last one and the back one and have it grow at a little bit of an angle. It's a bit crowded here, as you can see, so it's a bit hard to film. And conveniently, a good friend of mine is having her birthday really soon, and I thought about giving her some plant cuttings. So I guess that's a perfect time to cut these. So here we go. That's number one right there. And number two, right there. So this is it after cleaning it up a little bit. I know it doesn't look very clean, but I removed a little bit of the old scar and I flattened the sides a little bit. Probably could do more here. But yeah, this is how I'm gonna keep this now. I really want to replant all of this. Probably take the big one out and make it an individual one. And maybe take this one out as well and just make it like a small planting, because I have one more Dracaena right there and one more tiny Dracaena right there on the shelf next to my desk. So yeah, this one I think would be really cool to make it into kind of like a bonsai style. And then I just have a planting of small Dracaenas. So that might come up in the future. And I'll do something with it next year. This is one of the things I'm going to repot. They're still in the original soil, and I'm not quite sure what exactly I'm going to do with them, but I think I would like to have the big one as a single plant and really let it grow big, and maybe make the other ones into like a little foresty kind of planting. I can show you this one, which I worked on not that long ago, but when, oops, well, I was trying to lift it out, but I couldn't. The roots, it's already starting to get root bound, amazingly. And yes, maybe I'll chop it down next year and then let some new things grow. And I could imagine like a cool planting of 3 with the 2 shorter ones here and keep this one as a single plant. These yuccas, well, they're not really doing much. They're growing very, very slowly. I think I was keeping them a bit too wet. They're not really very well rooted either, surprisingly. I just like started watering them way less, also because it's getting to winter time now. And I hope that next year they will really like pick up, but they don't really have a lot of vigor, which makes sense if they don't have a lot of roots. Yes, my ZZ plant doing absolutely nothing at all. Um, just existing. This I got new. It was like winter clearance. I live in a little community now, and they have a shop that sells all kinds of stuff, and they had like winter clearance for all their plants, and I got this for like €4. Generally, like if you look at like bonsai people, they don't like these kinds of exposed roots very much. And I just took like the most elaborate, complicated one just to, I don't know, just because I thought it was kind of cool. And this also definitely needs a repotting. Um, oh, I'm keeping it very wet too. That's for next year as well. Then over here, this, I thought this was a casualty, my Calesia. But, and it's not looking very good at all, but it's look like it's rotting. But there's new growth here, so I just discovered this right now. Oops, oh fuck. Um, it is not completely dead. I don't know what I'll do with it, but maybe I can keep it alive. I just needed to put it back up. Like it has growth, and maybe it will grow if I plant it. This little coffee plant is growing very, very slowly, but it's growing. The other ones under the grow light are much faster. And these two are also doing nothing, but this is also not a very well lit area, especially now in the winter time. This, I can't remember what way, this is like northwest facing, I think, and this must, no, northwest facing and west facing, I guess. I'm not quite sure, but so this is like, they get light from the north, so understandably, they're growing quite slowly. This one I already showed you. This pothos has a little bit of new growth too. Then over here, these ones are also just kind of around. They took the move well. This one, I stopped watering it for some time because I think I overwatered it too, and it's looking better now. Cacti. This one looks like it's growing a little bit. My ivy also has started growing again. It looks really ugly, just like crustiness and then new green leaves. My ponytail palm I will also repot next year. I have more space now, so I can grow a lot of my plants quite a lot bigger. I'm gonna put my money tree in a even bigger pot this next year, and then I'll put this one in the money trees pot so it can grow a little bit. I got my other pothos, my marble queen up here. My money tree, it was losing a lot of leaves, and it still is losing quite a bit of leaves, but it was, well, it's growing a lot of new leaves, but it's also losing a lot. And I had it over there before, and I put it here, so it would have like a little bit more light, and it seems to like that. It stopped losing so many leaves. Then over here, look at my avocados. They both have grown, and they've grown a lot. This one already is getting its second pair of leaves. You can see the difference in texture. And this one, it really grew very, very tall before it started getting its first set of leaves. But they're both looking quite healthy. My lovely pomegranate, it didn't grow much in the last while, but the stem thickened up a lot, and it's I think it stopped growing for this year, and next year it will probably start growing more again, and I'll let it extend and let it thicken up before I chop it. My Adenium seems like it's losing the leaves too, which I think they can do over winter. I'm not sure if that's normal, but like in lower temperatures they drop their leaves, I guess. Spider plant, my Kalanchoe is looking a bit like sickly. It has, I don't know what this is on the leaves, like some mildewy stuff. It doesn't look healthy, but it's growing still, so I don't know if I should worry about it too much. Like, this does not look very good at all. But as long as it's growing, it can't be super unhealthy. My baobab also has stopped growing for this year. I think the trunk is probably double the size it was a year ago. So this, I haven't really, well, there's no roots coming through here, but I will repot it probably once a year for the next couple of years, unless it has like a bad year. But this definitely also started leaning. I don't know if you can see that. It's leaning over a lot, so I'll put it in a bigger, way bigger pot next year. And my little ficus. I have a video of me chopping this one branch. I just gave it a light prune. I just removed this one branch. It's not focusing. And when I did that, it really liked that. It took that pruning very well. It's not focusing for some reason, but it has sprouted all kinds of new growth over here and like in many different places, which already has extended quite a bit. Like this is like maybe 2 weeks or something. And yes, I will also repot it next year, work on the roots, and probably give it a harder pruning. But I don't really know what I'm gonna do yet. But I really like the progress that it made. It still looks like a cutting, no question, but I really like how it's doing. On to the last area, which is my kind of grow table that I have now, with my grow lights. This is my other eucalyptus plant. I chopped off the top because it was just like not doing well. Like it looked like it wasn't gonna survive, so I chopped it. And I mean, it's not looking super well. This new growth here looks a little crusty and dried up, but it is alive, and I have so many of them that I have enough backup. This Dracaena actually finally started growing. It had a bud there for like, I don't know, probably more than a month, and it didn't really do much. And now, like, this is a couple days worth of growth, so it really started off now. I carved a little bit of the trunk away on this one, because I didn't like how it looked, and there was a lot of dead tissue, and there's a big hole in here now, which I don't really know if that's gonna heal over on a yucca. Like, I don't, probably is very prone to mold, like a lot of moisture could get in here, but maybe over the winter that's not gonna be a big problem because I'll barely water it anyway. And this one is by far the healthiest looking one of my yuccas. It has really good looking leaves, and like if you look back on the other videos, like this is a lot of growth for I don't even know when it started growing, but it grew very well this season. Oh, I also started propagating these. I don't really need more Dracaena marginatas, but it's just always kind of fun to propagate, and I can give them away or something. Christmas cactus is not looking very well, and it has some sort of, wait, where can you see it? Yeah, it has, looks like it has some sort of fungus or whatever. I don't know where that came from. It started developing, first of all, it has almost no growth from all of this year, and it started developing little flowers, but most of the buds fell off after some time, so it's not doing good. Sadly, this is my newly planted mango, which I also have a clip on, which I'll put in here. So today I found this weird variety of mango in the store that I've never seen before. It's supposed to be very tasty, and I thought I'll just use that opportunity to find something like this to try planting a mango again. I tried a couple times, probably like 5 times. I did germinated 2 times, but they always died shortly after. And this time I'm just gonna plant the seed in soil, like no water propagation or anything fancy like that, which probably is gonna take the longest time, but in my experience is also the most reliable, at least for like avocado seeds and other stuff I've grown from seed. So let's cut it open and see what's inside. Confirm that this mango is indeed very tasty. It's a lot more mild, and it's like less tangy, less sour. It almost has like a little bit of umami flavor to it, but it's very good. I cracked open the seed pod, and this is the tiny little seeds. I just love cracking this open. It's like, I don't know, it's like opening like a present or like a Kinder egg or something like that. This is the little tiny seed. It has a pink little root coming from it, and it's very small, but I'm just gonna plant that in some seed starting soil and wait for it. It's not really the time to sow seeds now. That's the beginning of November, but I mean, I'll keep it inside anyway, so we'll see what happens. This is what I did. It's planted in some seed starting soil, which has like extra nutrients and a little bit of fertilizer in it. I planted it like I would plant an avocado tree, with the little start of the root facing down and the seed being a little bit exposed. The soil is a bit moist because it was outside, so I'm not gonna water it right away. I'm gonna wait a couple days. My watering day for my plants is usually on Sunday, and it's Wednesday today, so I'll give it a couple days and then I'll start watering it. So yeah, that's it. And then my Syngonium was also dormant for a long ass time, and this leaf, well, it didn't even really unfurl, and now it's drying up. Probably didn't like the me moving with it. But as I saw yesterday, it has new growth, which already looks not very good, but it is growing, which is something. What's next? My yucca. My other yucca. Not really doing much. My jade. And my other jade. And my other jade. They're all really not doing very much of anything. This one I also like kind of emergency repotted it because it was so annoying, this jade, because it had like no roots and it constantly, the plants fell out of the pot. And I have carpet now, which is extra annoying, so I just stuffed it real tight in this little pot. This is the branch that I took off my other little ficus, and these cuttings also have started growing finally. This one has extended a lot, and this one has multiple little grow points. I really would like to do something cool with them. I think one of them I would like to just like chop back very hard to like a really short little stump. And I really would like to make a root of a rock planting, which is something I think is super cool. So I'll take them out of the pot next year, and I'll see what the roots are doing, and then I'll decide what I do. My casuarinas did not survive, sadly. Well, one of them looks a little bit alive, but they're not doing anything. They looked a bit weird before the move, but the move, they did not like that at all. And yes, I don't think any of them are gonna make it. These coffee plants are looking gorgeous. Look at the leaves, so shiny. They're growing slowly but surely. And these are one of the very few super healthy looking plants that I have. Onto not a very healthy looking plant. I knew this was a bad idea to plant it without drainage, but I did anyway, and it grew a lot. But also it does not look healthy at all, and I'll put it into another pot, I think. And this is the other plant I got on the clearance shop sale, a little ginkgo biloba, which is just a baby, and I'm treating it like a baby. I didn't want to put it outside yet. I'll keep it. I don't know much about ginkgos. If it's fine if I keep it outside inside for the winter and then put it outside, because it was so small and fragile. We'll see what happens. So yes, I'm gonna stay in this room for a while, hopefully, and I'm very interested in growing some of my plants a lot bigger. So that's gonna be what I'll be doing next year. Goodbye. These are the Astrophytum seeds. There's supposed to be like 5 per package, but there's way more, which is usual, but it's still very nice. Some of these little ones, like this one, might not even germinate, so you have some bigger ones. So we'll plant them in here and then put them in a Ziploc bag. So we're basically building a little tiny greenhouse. Alright, so this is the setup. I sprayed it with my spray bottle and put it into the Ziploc bag, which kind of gives it, like, you know, very high humidity, which is a bit counterintuitive for a cactus, I think, but this is how you're supposed to germinate them. According to like a ton of YouTube videos, I labeled it with today's date, the 9th of October, smeared it immediately, and I'll keep checking on these regularly, and I'll give updates if there are updates to give. But until we see little baby cacti, it's probably going to take about 3 months, and since there's the winter coming up, it might take a little bit longer than that even.